I'm entitling this video as one foot on a banana peel and the other in the grave. And I hope you'll enjoy this story. It's quite humorous. At the same time, it could scare you to death. I don't know if you've ever been in the grave or not, but I've experienced it twice, at least a part of me. I'll never forget, three of us young fellas decided we would go out and clean the cemetery. It was Marks Creek Presbyterian Church, and we thought we'd go out there and clean that cemetery and have a good time, but the truth of the matter is it wasn't all fun. It was a lot of hard work. And we'd work for a while and rest for a while, work for a while and rest for a while. At any rate, we got busy cleaning the cemetery, and we ran across a grave that had a hole in it. And being curious, as teenagers are, we did something we shouldn't have done. We decided to stick a hoe handle down in that grave, and sure enough, it was hitting the casket. Well, man, listen, here we are, three young boys, probably all of us scared of dying, and we see in a cemetery that you reach down and touch a guy's coffin, and scared us to death. But we made a lot of light of it to start with, and telling all kind of ghost stories and all kind of frightening things. And by this time, I'm really fit to be tied because I was scared to death of dying at that time. And anyway, we went back to work, working in that cemetery and cleaning off the grass, holding it off. Every single grave had to clean out around the tombstones, the whole 10 yards. And so we're working along, and just so happened I happened to be holding in that particular area, not paying any attention, forget about the hole that's going down into where the casket's at. And the next thing I know, I step down and I go down to my kneecap on my left leg. Let me tell you something. The right leg was steadily spinning. Finally got my leg out. I didn't quit running till I had run almost 100 yards away, scared to death, terrified that the grave was going to get me, and I wasn't ready to go. I mean, it just scared me good. I was a young guy then, and at that time I didn't know the Lord, so hey, I wasn't ready to leave this world. It just scared me bad. So anyway, that was a thought in my life until I finally met the Lord to kind of help me with the fear of dying. But anyway, I was working for Harrington's Funeral Home, and we had a funeral down in McCall, South Carolina. And so the boss sent us down, and because they didn't know where the church was, he sent me ahead. I took the flower truck, and I was supposed to go down and find out where this particular cemetery was at. So I'm on the way, get down to Laurinburg, and I'm telling you, the bottom fell out. I mean, raining like I couldn't even hardly see. The windshield wipers wasn't moving fast enough for me to see getting the water off the truck. I didn't think I was even going to make it to the cemetery. I figured I'd have to pull off the road and just wait, and they'd catch up with me. At any rate, I finally got through the hard rain, and so I was headed towards the place with the church. So I'm riding down the road trying to find directions, and finally I find where the cemetery is at. Sigh of relief, the rain has quit, and I'm really tickled about that. So I get on the phone and I call Ed Parnell back, and I say, Ed, I came through a monsoon. I said, it rained so hard you couldn't see. I said, the good news is I'm down here. I found the church. Told them where the location was, and I said, it's dry. You hadn't seen a bit of rain down here. So I'm sitting around just killing time, waiting for them to get there so we can get the body out of the hearse, get it set up. And I already had the flowers put around the grave. That was part of my job, so I had them all pretty and looking good. So when they pulled up, they saw the pretty flowers had been given, and they were getting ready to get out and get the casket, put it on the device that lets the casket down into the ground. And about the time we got there and did that, all of a sudden the bottom fell out. Now, we were working for the funeral home, so needless to say, we had to get the umbrellas out, not for us, but for all of the folks who were coming. And it wasn't long with it raining as hard as it was raining. I mean, we were soaked all over in their clothes. When I got home, my billfold absolutely wet my billfold in my back pocket. It was raining that hard. So gradually the people get in, and we try to get them up under the tent where they won't get wet. And needless to say, each one of the guys that are working for the funeral home, we are absolutely soaked all the way through. So here comes a lady. She's got one of these rolling electric chairs and got it on the trailer. So they pulled this big old vehicle up. Well, she was where she could see the funeral right where she's at. She didn't even have to get out of the car. No, that wasn't good enough for her. She wanted to get out and get her wheelchair and pull it to the edge of the tent. Now, I'm talking about it's pouring down raining. She pulls it over there, and I made the comment to the other guys. I said, I'll tell you right now, when this funeral is over, she won't be able to get that cart to work. And sure enough, when it was over, she couldn't get it to work, and they had to push it in all that rain and slush and mud, push it back on that trailer. And she was a big lady, bless her heart. Should have stayed in the car. She could have rolled the window down, heard the service, not caused any problems whatsoever. Well, this particular place where they were, it was very difficult to get into with a dump truck loaded with dirt. As a matter of fact, we had to take boards and raise the tent up to even get it in. You couldn't go to one side or the other and couldn't come from the back side, just had to come from the front side. So we got it all set. We could put the dirt in, and he backs up and begins to get the dirt in, and all you could hear was water. These fellas says, I can tell you this much, there's not going to be enough dirt. It ain't going to fill it all the way up. I'll have to bring some dirt back. So anyway, he gets the dirt in and gets it kind of leveled out across the grave there. And he pulls the dump truck out and lets the tarp back down, the tent back down. So we looking good again, and we're checking on the flowers. The guys working the funeral home. Everybody else has left but us. And one of the guys, he's a big black guy, and he worked, helping put everything in place, and he was one driving the truck. So anyway, we get all the flowers around. Well, the last thing to go on that particular grave is the spread that goes on top of the casket. So it sits right on top of the grave. So I go over there and pick the spread up, and I go back over to the grave, and I'm getting ready to put it down. When I do, my left leg went all the way down to my knee. My other leg buckled because it couldn't hold me up. And man, the guy was with me, bless his heart. It scared him. His eyes got just like big old saucers up there. He was terrified because he was kind of scared of the dead folks as well. And all he could say is, you got your shoe? You still got your shoe on? You still got your shoe on? I said, yeah, man, I got my shoe on. I'm pretty well okay on that. So he comes up, and I'm a little excited because I hadn't been in the grave like that before, not that far. I mean, I'm one of those steps from falling right in the middle of that thing. I'm right at the edge. My leg, like I say, is all the way down to my kneecap. My other leg is buckled on me. So I can't do nothing. I can't get myself out. So he reaches to grab me, and in my little bit of anxiety, I wasn't worried, reached up and grabbed his hand and almost pulled him in. And he goes running back across the cemetery. And he comes back. He said, you still got your shoe on? You still got your shoe on? I said, man, I got my shoe on. Get me out of this grave. So this time he comes and gets me out, and sure enough, I got my shoe on, and I got mud all over me. But I can tell you this. The first time I fell in the grave, I wasn't saved. The second time I was saved. But I tell you, it's not any comfort at all, saved or lost, if you fall into a grave and can't get yourself out. I mean, if nobody else had been there, I'd have been stuck till somebody came. But I thought it was hilarious for this guy to come in and try to help me out. And then he takes off running. I grab a hold of me, he almost comes in with me, and he takes off running. Listen, folks, the grave can't hurt you, and dead folks can't hurt you. They make you hurt yourself, I promise you. I remember my grandmother telling me a story about they went to a funeral one day when they, in the early days, and she's, of course, was much older than I was in his horse and buggy days. And when they went in, they had laid this guy out on the table because they didn't embalm in those days. Anyway, got him all set up. My great granddaddy was a Baptist minister, and my grandmother went with him. That was his daughter. She would go with him when they did the bodies. So she'd go to help him. They get this guy all situated and laid down on that table or whatever they got him on, and everybody's coming in and they're sobbing and telling what a good guy he is. What a good guy he is. And said all of a sudden that guy sat up, and Grandma said they went out the windows, they went out the doors, they totally emptied out that room. And the guy was actually alive, and he lived sometime after that, as a matter of fact. So dead folks can't hurt you, but they sure can make you hurt yourself. Oh, isn't it wonderful to know the Lord Jesus has conquered death and dying? You don't have to worry about where you're going to spend eternity. You don't have to worry about dying, and you don't have to worry about the grave. And again, I was that guy that had the bad dreams, and I'd dream, and some of those dreams, I'd find myself in a coffin and them throwing dirt in on top of me. So you can see the phobia of fear that I had, what a deal it did in my life. But you know what? When I got saved, God took away the fear of dying. So I know tonight, if I lay my head on my pillow, if I don't wake up, I'm going to go home to be with Jesus. Can you say that? I don't know if you can, but if you've enjoyed this, please send this on to someone else and pass it on. The The world needs a smile. They need to laugh a little bit, and I hope this will give them a little bit of joy. Thank you for watching.